Morten from INKISH again. We are still here at the fantastic unboxing event in Cambridge together with AGFA, seeing the SpeedSet 1060 for the first time. Mike?
Hi Morten, welcome and welcome to Cambridge AGFA and the unveiling of the SpeedSet. It's been an amazing event today. I mean, it already passed and you had some great videos and shots and we're so proud of that. Amazing machine.
I do understand because, I mean, we spoke to one of the guys that actually assemble the machine. Just because we always talk to marketing and management, thought it could be interesting to talk to the people that actually do the machines, right? And it seems that the entire team is extremely proud of what you have achieved, right?
I think, you have this saying, blood, sweat, and tears. In this case, we didn't have the blood, but we did have the sweat and the tears. And the joy moment is now. Everybody's smiling, the machine is working, the performance is amazing, the quality is outstanding. Water-based inks, non-food migration, a lot of technology into the machine, sustainability thought. I mean, the whole package it's a joy to be here, also for me.
I can understand that. But Mike, I was just thinking there's one thing more to that equation that you just mentioned, because in the morning session here today, where we spoke, where you listened to both to Sean from Smithers Pira and also to Jeff from Keypoint Intelligence, all the mega trends and all, let's say, the non-product specific understanding of where the market is developing, you basically tick almost every little box on that equation, right?
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. It's you don't build a machine like this just because we have a nice idea. Let's kind of put this together. There was a lot of research done on the basis of demographics. So they've on what are the needs of the customers? Where do we want to go? Is a B1 format the right thing? What kind of speed do you need? What we've done here is we're basically replacing 2 offset presses with 1 digital press. We see that there are trends of people going from offset to digital, but we also see that there are trends of saying, it's an addition to my total offset package. And I think that's the right combination. Just throwing away your offset presses and go digital is a wrong way to go. You need to look at what kind of jobs do you go where. This machine will give you that jobs to 5,000-6,000 cheaper than any offset press you can do. That's the idea. And that makes this machine so unique. The footprint is the same size almost as a normal offset press, so it really picks and ticks every box.
Yeah, and of course I understand that you just didn't do it without doing your homework. I understand that. But I mean, if you look at it from, I know that AGFA is a big company. I know that you have a lot of research and do all the things that are right. But still, this is the first time that you enter into a new market segment like the folding carton business with this machine. The metrics that you're talking about is probably more or less the same as your competitors also read from time to time. And then basically you still end up being a manufacturer that, also because of your acquisition of INKISH just a few years ago, you have the technology, you have the platform, you have the vision, and then you do something that seems, when all the people we've talked to here at the show, seems very appreciative and really understand the value of what you're developing. And that was why I was saying ticking the boxes, because reading the research and doing the analysis is probably what every vendor will do if they are serious vendors. Absolutely. Anyway, right? But you just did it.
Yeah, I think that not only ticking the box and doing the research, I think what was important in this whole, transformation for us is AGFA's transforming from a company that was in photographic films and those kind of things. And we still do a lot of those things, but we're going with DPS, which is the digital print solution side of the business, is really going into making new ways, new pathways into the future. If we look at our Tower platform on the sign graphics, we are, at a top level. We needed to look at new markets. We went into interior jet for flooring. We have the #1 product. When we look at Alusa for leather, we have the #1 product. With SpeedSet, I believe today we will have the #1 product. We're water-based. This is what everybody wants. Nobody wants UV anymore for these kind of machines. But others, look at it differently. We have water-based, we have speed, we have quality, we have everything total. And I think what is really important is the technology aspects. Our belt is unique metal running at those speeds for 10 years. Those are unique features of the machine. The sustainability of the machine makes it almost tears in my eyes. That's how nice.
So that was the sweat and tears, basically.
Right? Yeah, a little bit. The sweat is not there yet. I mean, for the guys, they do a lot of sweating. I just had the tears in my eyes when I see how beautiful this machine is.
Yeah. And again, one thing that I also like with the approach you do with this, I mean, you basically own almost all the technology in it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at some of the competitors, they have print heads from one supplier, frames from another supplier. So basically, because you have the control of everything, I guess that also takes you to the next iteration both faster, because you can basically do the tweaks and twerks on all the screws in order to get it to the next iteration in years. Right?
I mean, absolutely. This is the first machine of the generation, and we will look at what is needed into the market for the future. Yeah. Today, we're still working on this machine. We hope to have the first 2 beta machines out next year, which is 2024, and the first commercial versions in 2025.
Has the beta customers been selected already? Or?
I cannot disclose.
No. You don't have to tell who, but has it been picked already, or?
I think so, yes.
Oh, you think so? Okay. And I mean, these type of companies, regardless, I mean, of course, they also invest in the sense that they give feedback from, and that must be, one thing is building it in 2 years' time, plus the engineering part of it. But then when you get it out in a real working environment, that feedback must be
it's invaluable.
Priceless, right?
No, it's invaluable. I mean, we had a lot of feedback in customers here already, looking at the machine, looking at the quality and the demands and where to go, where not to go. But once the machine goes into beta and it goes into a field test at a customer site, the information we get from them is going to be extremely valuable for not only the next machines for commercial availability, but also for next generations in the future. This is the starting point for us in packaging. We're doing folding carton. Let's see what the future brings.
Another question that I'm a little bit curious about, because I mean, the course is clear here. I mean, I see where you want to take it, and I think you're right. The quality, everything you mentioned, I think is really, really cool. When you look at digital, where you typically end up having a machine that produces fast, where every sheet can be different, what about the finishing thing? Will that be something that eventually could be a bottleneck for the success of this? Because I mean, if you produce 11,000 sheets of one and you need to finish them, of course, it requires a lot of handling in the other end, right?
I think, first of all, 11,000 sheets of one is impossible. So, putting variable data in or something like that, that's possible because you can use one plane of black or whatever. Yeah. So there are possibilities there. But when you look at one sheet, being exactly different than the next one, and for 11,000 sheets, forget it. Okay. Today. Yeah. But remember, my first printer I ever had 1 square meter, I had to wait 45 minutes to get it out. So the reality is technology changes, and RIP technology changes, workflow technology change, it will go faster. But the result is, let's not think about doing that, because if you do 11,000 sheets, like you said, 11,000 finishing, 11,000 logistics, it is a little bit of a nightmare. There are solutions out in the market to do that. Today, I think that this machine will do the 5,000 sheets of the same, next 5,000 sheets, boom.
So the first, let's say the digital transformation to going into digital packaging is basically that you save on the setup time. You can basically have changeovers way faster, but it's still with a certain volume per job, basically.
Basically, you can do changeovers on the fly, but not every single sheet.
Okay. So the reason why I was asking about whether finishing would be a bottleneck is basically because every time you see like milestones of change in let's say in our industry, it's always identifying the bottlenecks, because if you do the best machine and the ripping is a problem, if you do the best machine, the finishing is a bottleneck. I was just thinking maybe you already addressed that by having
we're addressing it with Hycon. So we are talking with them, we're talking to finishing. And like I said, this machine is only going to be available as beta at the end of next year. So we still have a year to have some relationship and talks on how to do it. Will it go online? That's a good question. Maybe in the future something will go online to cut off edges or something. But at the moment, I don't see that happening. Today, it's just the print engine, which is basically replacing an offset press and giving you all the flexibility, the fastest speed. The first shot is done, it comes out correct, which is already a saving a lot of environmental work. I've heard some of the converters telling me they need 300-400 sheets before they get it right. Yeah. And that's gone. You don't need that anymore. So your first sheet is the right sheet. So just imagine over, say 10,000 jobs, which is a simple one. That's 500,000 sheets savings on a yearly basis just because you're going digital. So those are the things which make me enthusiastic. and make me much more cheerful than to see how we finish and how we do things that today are difficult to finish.
I'm not questioning that at all. I was just curious because if I were a converter and I was thinking about having these kind of things, I was just thinking whether you address it, and you do.
Yeah.
So that is like the short answer to it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Mike, congratulations. It must be super nice to see it in also presented to the public for the first time.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been a joy, and it's just it's a killer.
It's a killer. It's a
That's
killer.
the only thing I can say.
Okay, let's put
Horsten,
it there.
thank you very much for being here at AGFA Cambridge, and hopefully to see you back soon when we get the machine ready for production.
I hope so too. Thank you very much, sir. Okay.
Thank you.